Hello, dear students. I welcome you all on behalf of Sri Jayendra Rangjong classes. Dear students, we are going to study today one of the important chapter, and we are going to initiate it. That is the environmental issue. A last chapter of class 12 in ecology. In these environmental issues, we are going to talk about the pollution mechanism, types of pollutant, air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, and the remedies. All these things we are going to discuss here. First, we are going to discuss in this part that is the kinds of pollution or the type of pollution. So first, if we classify the pollution, we know first we have to understand what is pollution. So pollution is defined as a undesirable change in air, water, soil. That undesirable change is considered as a pollution. Okay. So if we talk about the types of pollution on the basis of we can say origin, then we have to obviously discuss that what is the origination point. Okay, so we are going to discuss these two types here, and the first type is natural pollution. Now, so on the basis of two types, it is a natural pollution. In natural pollution, obviously if we talk, it is a pollution caused by the natural phenomena, means natural phenomena responsible for this pollution. And what this natural phenomena can be there, like the emission of large quantity of toxic gases and toxic substances, some particulate matter like volcanoes, landslides, forest fire, marsh gas release, and UV rays. This all things, whatever the undesirable change they cause in the environment or the nature or the air, water, and we can say soil, that is considered as a natural pollution. So it is due to the natural phenomena. And it is approximately 99.95% of total is a natural pollution. Means compared to us also, natural pollution is much more. The another one is the anthropogenic pollution. Anthropogenic pollution is the man-made pollution, and it is caused by obviously human activities. So human activities like noise, automobile, we use pesticides we release, or we particularly use in the while growing the plants. In industry, so many chemicals are getting released that all are going to add in the water, air, or we can say the soil, and going to pollute that. So these all are due to the human activities. So we call it as anthropogenic or man-made pollution. Now its magnitude is quite less or low as compared to natural pollution. It is considered that its magnitude is quite low. Anthropogenic pollution can be personal. Okay, it can be if the person is doing smoking, then it is obviously a personal level anthropogenic pollution. Then community level, thermal power plant are there, they can throw a particular pollutants. There are some occupational hazards, some occupational components like a floor mill dust, that is also ultimately a one type of anthropogenic pollution. But the important thing is that it is responsible for 0.05% of the atmospheric pollution of the total pollution is a anthropogenic pollution. Now, on the basis of physical nature, also pollution is of a different type. So physical nature can be gas, so it can be a gaseous, it can be dust form of pollution, it can be a thermal form of or noise pollution. Thermal form, we keep if the industries are releasing a high temperature water in the cold water, then this cold water are going to be warm up, and due to this some aquatic organism can die, or it causes some harm to the aquatic. Noise is also one type of a pollution. Radioactive pollution, depending on the physical nature of the pollutant. So it can be a gaseous, dust, thermal, noise, or radioactive pollution depending on the physical nature of the pollutants. The another type is on the basis of part of environment is going to be affected. So if the air is getting affected, water is affected, soil is affected, that can be called as air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution respectively. Okay, so these are the different ways on the basis of the pollution can be divided. Another type of pollution we are going to discuss here, that is based on the emission. So pollution is classified as a point source emission. So pollution is being emitted from a single point or a definite source. Then it will be called as a point source solution. Okay, so single point is going to release all the pollutant component. So it is a municipal sewer passing into the water body. It is a point source. So municipality area is going to be point source solution. 9-point solution means a pollution is being emitted from a large area. A large area there where is going to form a particular. So agriculture runoff is considered as a 9-point solution. There is not a fixed point. Okay. Then the third type is area source. Whole area, like a mining area, is producing pollution. Then that is considered as a particular area is responsible for the what? We can say the pollution. So mining area, industrial complexes, that all are going to be part of area source pollution. Now, these all types of pollution are there, but for causing a pollution, there is obviously a need of a pollutants. So if we classify pollutants, first we have to classify a pollutant based upon the natural disposal. Based on the natural disposals, pollutants are of two types. Now, natural disposal is the first one, that is biodegradable pollutants. Okay. Now, biodegradable pollutants are those pollutants which are easily decomposable. We can or they or naturally or by the human efforts it can be decomposed easily, and decomposing bacteria are able to decompose them. Okay. So easily decomposable wastes by natural processes and also by some artificial methods, which include the microbial action and radiation. Okay. So biodegradable pollutants are those pollutants which can be easily decomposed. Okay. And obviously they are decomposed by natural processes, also by some artificial methods, which include a microbial action and radiation. Domestic sewage is the main pollutant in this category. Domestic sewage has major component as a biodegradable wastes. Non-degradable pollutants are those which are generally not degraded or degraded at a very slow rate by the natural biological process. These are going to be degraded at a very slow rate by a natural biological process, like aluminum can, or they are not going to be degraded actually, we can say. Mostly they are not going to be degraded. So aluminum can mercurial salts, long chain phenolic compounds, DDT, arsenic salts of heavy metals, glass, tin container, radioactive materials, and plastic that are all are not going to be decomposed. So what they happen? It continue keep on accumulating. So not only accumulate, but also they get biologically magnified. Means it get absorbed sometimes by the organism, and when in a food chain, the concentration of this particular chemical are going to be increased. So it can be biodegradable or non-biodegradable. Apart from this, according to their existence in nature, the pollutants may be quantitative or qualitative. Okay, pollutants can also be a quantitative or qualitative based on their existence. First is the qualitative pollutants. So they are the pollutants which do not normally occur in the environment but are passed into it through the human activities. So they are the qualitative, do not occur naturally, but they are passed into through the human activities like DDT, other pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, or are qualitative. But some are quantitative pollutant as well, because they become pollutant. They are normally present in nature, but they become pollutant only when their concentration reaches beyond a critical value in the environment. If their concentration reaches beyond a certain value, then they will be referred as a pollutant. Otherwise, normally they are present. Then this type of pollutant are known as quantitative pollutants. Then third type of pollutant which we discussed, that is on the basis of form of pollutant, in which this persist after the release into the environment. And these are again of two types. So on the basis of form of pollutant, in which they persist, in which form they are going to persist in the environment, based on that, after the persistence, in what form they are present, based on that, into the release into the environment, these are again of two types. First is the primary pollutant. Please understand, this is very important. Primary pollutants are emitted directly into the environment from some definite source. They are released from some definite source directly into the environment as a particle of metals, carbon, DDT tar, resin, pollen, fungi, bacteria, silicates, plastics, sulfur compounds in the form of SO2, SO3, H2S, carbon compounds in the form of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen. These all are released from some definite source, then they are known, and after release directly, if they are acting as a pollutant, then they are known as primary pollutant. But secondary pollutants are somewhat different from that. How? These are formed by the reaction of the primary pollutant in the environment. So the primary pollutant present in the environment, they are going to react, and after reaction, they are going to form a particularly this one. So the photochemical reaction, if we talk about the photochemical reaction, occur in the presence of bright sunlight between the nitrogen oxides and the waste hydrocarbon. that is going to form a peroxyacyl nitrate. So peroxyacyl nitrate is, we can say, one type of secondary pollutant. Okay, and it is by the reaction of nitrogen oxides and waste hydrocarbons. Same way, ozone is also a particularly secondary pollutant by the reaction of O2 and oxygen. Okay, so these are the particularly on the basis of pollutants. So this is all about what we can say the pollution and pollutants. Okay, now from this onwards we are going to discuss air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution in detail. Okay, and their different types one by one. I hope you understood well. Thank you.